Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, I feel very proud that many spiritually elevated and very dedicated people are connected with me on this platform, because the kind of response which I received on this Ketu planetary series, or like 3 videos which I uploaded, like on Ketu's house placement, Ketu's zodiac sign placement, even like its nakshatra placement as well. So because we all get curious whenever we hear any psychic talking about the soul, talking about the past life. So obviously we also have a command over astrology, and our chart is suffice enough to give answer to that. Only if you are searching, you know, who get the answer, who is looking for it, who is searching for it. So I mean to say friends, so just because everyone has been asking me to put more content on this or make a part 2 of it, so in this video we will try to add the Nadi Amsa as well, because from the Nadi Amsa you will definitely get the deeper nuances of the energy of the Ketu working in your life. Because whenever we talk about all those cases of like someone being born with that psychic abilities, prophetic powers, power of vision, manifestation, out of the body experiences, all of that is somehow connected with Ketu. So in this video friends, we will try to dive deep into it. Now just because I haven't uploaded much content on the Nadi Jyotish, because whatsoever like content I have created in the past, it was just for the for my students, like whom I give the in-person classes here in Vancouver, and I never cared about like putting that on the YouTube as well. But just because now it's a kind of a responsibility for me to cater to such a spiritually enriched and curious audience. So let's say for example, if you haven't heard about the Nadi Jyotish or the principles of the Nadi Amsa, that's not that complicated. And if you will follow this presentation which I have compiled for this discussion, I'm very much sure that you will get some insight on it. And let's say for example, if you will like the whole sequence, we can now do the same for the after this for planet Rahu and Saturn as well, like especially when we talk about the karmic imprints. So we know that like Rahu, Ketu and Saturn plays a very significant role over there. Friends, you would not believe, I have had so many topics in my mind. I need to make videos on the D9 chart, like placement of Jupiter, Sun, other planets in the D9 chart. I have to make like some more content on the 2026 new year. But just like that, you have been interested in this topic, so I'm just pushing myself to research and come up with more insightful information on this. So okay friends, after this we will just continue our discussion, and I will look forward to your participation, your observation of whatsoever I will be explaining over here. And let's say for example, if you are not very much familiar with the basic core principles of the Nadi Jyotish, so give me some time, I will be uploading more videos on that. But this video is sufficient and explanatory enough that even if you are new to the concept of the Nadi, the way I have designed the whole sequence of this presentation, I'm sure that if you will like concentrate enough, it will be very insightful for you. So now friends, in this video we will try to get deeper into it, like Ketu's placement in your zodiac chart based on the Nadi. What does it tell about the latent dormant talents or about the journey of your soul? And see, this whole topic, when I'm doing it, when I'm recording it, even the transiting moon is conjunct with Ketu in the Leo sign. So just like that, the inspiration is coming from the cosmos and I am just the medium. So let's just start our discussion now. Some people are born with supernatural intuition. Others develop it through pain, isolation and past life karma. But one planet reveals the truth behind all the spiritual gifts. That planet is Ketu. And in Nadi Astrology, Ketu's Nadi Amsa is the micro division that decides whether you will awaken ordinary intuition or extraordinary spiritual power. Now comes the question that, like, for people who are new to it, what is Nadi Amsa? So in Vedic astrology, we have Rashi, like the 30-degree division of the space, nakshatra 13 degree 20 minutes. You keep on further dividing it to the Navamsa level or till even D60 Shashti Amsa chart. But Nadi astrology goes further deeper. It divides the zodiac into hundreds of micro layers called as the Nadi Amsas, which means the DNA of the planets. Now these micro divisions will reveal the past life residue, karmic memory, psychic tendencies, spiritual intelligence, hidden gifts, soul purpose triggers. So this is where Ketu becomes the most important planet, because Ketu is literally past life memory in action. Many times when people experience that awakening, those epiphanies, people feel that from my material, corporate or work life, now I'm becoming more spiritual. It's a transition for me. But on a level of the soul's journey, it's not a transition. It is homecoming. So now coming back to the next section about why Ketu's Nadi Amsa creates spiritual gifts. Why we are studying it? Why after studying Ketu in the zodiac sign, in the house, why this is also important? Because Ketu is the shadow of your past life. It holds the tapas you have performed, the wisdom you are carrying within your soul, the intuition you have mastered, the pain you have transformed, and the spiritual work left incomplete. So when Ketu sits in a specific Nadi Amsa, it activates a unique spiritual signature inside you. So some Ketu Amsas can produce the clairvoyance, some can produce the dream prophecy, some can produce hidden knowledge, some produce healing powers, some produce astrology intelligence, and some produce genius level insight or sudden awakening. So your spiritual gift is not random. It is encoded in the micro signature of Ketu. So friends, like I will first give you an overview of the 6 types of spiritual gift from Ketu's Nadi Amsa, and then we will summarize it, that if you have to apply the same concept, same principle in your own chart, how you can do that. So just stay with me for a while. So the very first is about the Sattvic Brahmin Amsa, so which is responsible for the clairvoyance and the psychic vision. So if and when Ketu falls in a Sattvic and the Brahmin Nadi Amsa, the soul carries the Rishi level memory. These natives see the timelines before they happen. Their dreams speak in prophecy. Their intuitions whisper the truth before the logic catches up. So these are the people who just know. Their mind is a channel. So this is about the Ketu being in the Sattvic Brahmin Amsa. Now second is, if you will find that Ketu is in the Guru ruled Amsa, so it is responsible for the past life knowledge and the scriptural memory. So if Ketu sits in a Nadi Amsa influenced by the planet Jupiter, the person carries the memory of the mantras, scriptures, meditation, dharma and the spiritual vows. They often become teachers, guide, healers, not by learning, just merely by remembering. Now, if let's say for example, your Ketu is placed in the moon ruled Amsa, so it tells more about the healing power and the energy sensitivity. Like Ketu in a moon driven Nadi Amsa gives empathetic strength, aura reading ability, emotional telepathy and intuitive healing power. So these are the people who absorb others' pain and transmute it silently. Now let's say for example, if your moon is placed in the Kshatriya Tamasic Amsa, so which carries the power of like occult power and astral ability. So which generally happens when Ketu sits in a Tamasic or Kshatriya Nadi Amsa, which is like Mars or the Saturn influence in short. You get the chart of people who are the occult masters, tantric practitioners, psychic protectors and the karmic warriors. These souls carry unresolved spiritual battles which turn into psychic stamina in their life. Now let's say for example, if your Ketu is placed in the Mercury or the Vaishya Amsa, that means mathematical or the scientific genius. If you remember, I gave the example of the Ramanujam as well. So Ketu in a Mercury driven or Vaishya type Nadi Amsa creates intuitive calculation, sudden insight, and the pattern recognition. Now, this is the signature of the Ramanujam, Tesla, Da Vinci, inventive geniuses, and visionaries who solve mysteries without process. And obviously, eventually at the end, we cannot rule out the Venus as well. So, if Ketu is sitting in the Venus Amsa, that means artistic and creative prophecy. Ketu in the Venus based Nadi Amsa creates spiritual artistry, art that carries cosmic memory. Music, cinema, poetry, painting, their talent flows like a download from another realm. So now friends, comes the question that if you have to do it for yourself, like how to read your own Ketu's Nadi Amsa, that's very simple. Let's understand it on the level of different steps. So the step number 1 is identify the nakshatra in which Ketu is sitting, because each nakshatra has a spiritual theme. So for example, with Mula, it has to do with the destruction of the illusion. With Magha, ancestral memory. Sadbisha, healing and the psychic vision. With Jeshtha, occult power. With Revati, it has more to do with the transcendence. So after the step 1, the next step is about identifying the pada. Like, is the Ketu is sitting in the Brahmin pada, Kshatriya pada, Vaishya pada, or the Shudra pada. So we know this thing that if it is in the Brahmin Nadi Amsa, it has more to do with the knowledge, intuition, prophecy. With Kshatriya, courage, protection, occult power. With Vaishya, it has more to do with the business intelligence, material intuition. And if it is in the Shudra Nadi Amsa, that has more to do with the service karma, healing karma, and suffering for the spiritual rise. And also friends, like I'm sure that if you follow all these astrology videos, you would be knowing the right process of figuring it out, like how to know which pada is like Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or the Shudra. So that's very simple. All what you have to do is that the pada varna, meaning like for example, in whichsoever nakshatra and nakshatra's pada, the planet is placed, like Ketu is placed. So simply put, pada 1 is always the Brahmin, like which has more to do with the knowledge, intuition, spiritual insight. If your Ketu is placed in a nakshatra, in the second pada, it is by default it is Kshatriya, which has more to do with the courage, action, discipline, which we discussed. If it is in the pada 3 with the Vaishya, which has more to do with the trade, finance, material skills. If it's in the pada 4, it is about Shudra, which has more to do with the service, healing, grounding, and the emotional work. So the pada 1, for example, will always be Brahmin. As simple as that, to remember it. So if you have to read your own Ketu's Nadi Amsa, the first step was, which we discussed, about identify the nakshatra. Second is identify the pada, like Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So this will tell you the role of your spiritual gift. Is it a teacher, warrior, creator, healer? Because see friends, like when we talk about, for example, Sadbisha. So for example, if you will take up the case of Sadbisha, Sadbisha is Satvik, but at the same time it is a Rakshas Guna. So that's how you have to connect, like with Satvik, it will have the healing power, but the Rakshas Gana will always be at work. There will be intensity. So now, so step 1 was identifying the nakshatra. Step 2 was identifying the pada. Is it Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra? Now third step is identify the guna. Is it like Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic? And knowing that, friends, is very simple. And most importantly, what does it tell about? So if the planet like Ketu is sitting in the Sattvic Nadi Amsa, it has more to do with the psychic gift, spiritual intelligence, calm intuition, clairvoyance. If it's in the Rajasic, so sharp analytical mind, business intelligence, social power. And if it is in the Tamasic, it has got more to do with the karmic cleansing, shadow work, and intense spiritual purification. And like even to like calculation part is also, friends, not that complicated of this because if you follow any good book on Vedic astrology, you can easily figure it out. Like for example, like even the guna calculation follows a triplet system. So for example, like nakshatra number like 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th, 13th, 16th, 19th, they all are like Rajasic. Same is the way when we talk about the Satvik. So 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th, 15th, 18th, this sequence nakshatra are all the Satvik. So that's how you have to do it. It's like all mentioned in the book. It is very easy. You can easily figure it out. Now friends, coming back to our discussion. So first you have to understand, identify the nakshatra of the Ketu. Second is identifying its pada. Step 3 is identifying its guna. Is it sattvic, rajasic, tamasic? Step number 4 is identifying the sign dispositor, because Ketu's dispositor will show you how the gifts will get expressed. If it is Jupiter, that will express through wisdom. If it is Saturn, discipline. If it is Mars, through courage. If it is Venus, through art. If it is Mercury, intellect. Moon, empathy, and Sun will be leadership. And friends, now comes the most important aspect about applying the Nadi flow, because when we apply the concept and principles of the Nadi, we don't see the planet in isolation. It's not as simple as like Ketu being in the 7th house or Ketu being in the Libra. Over there, like what planet is sitting with it and what is the sequence, because then the sequence flows, like the way in a sentence the word flows, in a music the note flows. So that's where the secret of the Nadi principle comes in. So that means, for example, if Ketu, we are talking about Ketu. So the planet it sits with, its dispositor, everything will matter, and the sequence will play a very significant role. So this single chain will reveal the past life cause, the present life expression, and the future destiny of your spiritual gift. So for example, we know that like the whole discussion is about conjunction as well. So if Ketu is with the moon, it has more to do with the psychic intuition. Ketu is conjunct with Mercury, spiritual intellect. Ketu is conjunct with Jupiter, sage-like wisdom. Ketu conjunct with Saturn, karmic cleansing. Ketu conjunct with Venus, artistic prophecy. Ketu conjunct with the planet Mars, it has got more to do with the occult warrior kind of energy. So friends, the conclusion is that Ketu is not a planet of loss. It is the planet of remembrance, remembrance of the past, journey of the soul. It reminds you of who you were before this lifetime began. When you understand Ketu's Nadi Amsa, you understand the blueprint of your intuition, your hidden abilities, and your soul's spiritual mission. So all what we can say that your gift is not random, it is encoded, and this is what the Nadi secret is. So friends, you would have understood the whole pattern which we are following. In the very first video, we understood Ketu's like zodiac sign placement, and we try to figure out the maturity level of the soul, the birth marks which you might have, any specific intuitive gifts, and the information around the relationship, how Ketu will influence you over there. Then in the second part, we included the Ketu's house placement. Then we further dive into the nakshatras, into the chakras, the Siddhi nakshatra. And in this video, we try to connect based on the guna, based on the varna, we added some more layers to it. So I'm sure friends that this video will give you some insight, and based on your participation, I will see that do I need to add some more layers to it or not. So friends, I hope it was not an information overload for you. I tried my level best, and I will look forward to your suggestion in the comment section that do you want some more information on the placement of Ketu in your natal chart, different explanation for that, or shall I now switch to like covering Rahu and Saturn in a same pattern, the way I did this 3 or 4 planetary series for Ketu, covering all the soul and the past life connection and contribution of it. So yes friends, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.